Hi everyone, I'm here with Matt from Luxe Life Productions. He's the owner, operator, proprietor, and God King of Luxe Life Productions. He's agreed to sit down with us for a few minutes and just sort of go over what it is that they do with Luxe Life. They are professional photographers and I am a huge fan of theirs, so I appreciate you sitting down with us today.
Thank you.
What is Luxe Life Productions? Who is Matt and how did you get into this?
Yeah, so Luxe Life Productions, we're a full-service media company that services real estate agents. We basically provide whatever they're going to need to market their property, whether it be photography, drone photo, floor plan, Matterport, video. We're kind of a one-stop shop for them so they can market their listings. So that's kind of what we do. I started the company back in 2017, and the reason I did it is I was investing in real estate and I was working a full-time 9 to 5. And I didn't want to do that forever. I wanted to figure out what type of business I could start. I really liked real estate, and because I was looking at properties every week, I started to see like drone photos, and it kind of caught my eye on certain listings. So I kind of put 2 and 2 together and said, hey, I like real estate. I know a lot of agents that I'm working with. I can go and buy a drone for like $2,000. Maybe I can see it, and I'm also into photography. Maybe I can see, where this could go. So I bought a drone. I started taking some pictures for some of my warm leads, some of the agents that I knew for free. Built a portfolio and never quit. And 7 years later, here we are with 7 employees, and we're shooting about 20 houses a day.
Jesus, 20 a day?
Yeah.
God, I thought I was your only client.
That's how we want you to feel. Yeah, it's our goal to make every client feel like they're our only client and that we have, plenty of bandwidth. That's my challenge with growing, is I want to grow quick, but at the same time, I think what separates us from other companies is our customer service and our quality. So, we don't contract out anybody. Everybody here is full time. So that's great for 2 reasons. 1, when you're in front of your client at a listing, you're going to know who shows up. And 2, it allows me to keep the quality up, give training, and really put my time and energy into each employee. That way our product always looks consistent.
I guess I got a couple of questions. I got them written down, so I'll probably grab into my paper periodically. What's one of the biggest obstacles you run into, though, with photography?
I think with real estate, as you know, it's just go, 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 right? People hit you up, they want to list, they want it listed yesterday. So the challenge that presents us is, like I said, we do about 20 homes a day, and that takes pretty precise scheduling. So we allot just enough time to get what we need to get done at your listing, and then travel time, and then how are we going to get to the next listing on time. So when things aren't ready, that's kind of what throws a curveball in our day. We'll never just walk into a listing and leave because it's not ready. We're going to do everything we can to get the job done and make it look great. But when it's not ready and it takes time, and we walk in and some agents might think that that's the best time to start cleaning, it throws a kink in our day because now we're a half an hour late for the next client and then an hour late for the next client. Everyone's upset and stressed. So I would say the biggest obstacle for scheduling is having homes that are shoot ready. But like I said, either way we're going to get it done. But we just ask that everything's ready to go for us and shoot ready. That way you can get the most out of your shoot.
Yeah. Like the classic move I pull on you all the time is, I need you to shoot this room so that I can then move this furniture from this room while you're shooting there, so then you can shoot this.
We get it. Yeah. People have kids, pets, more people than ever are working from home. So we're coming into someone's life during their day, and we try to be as accommodating as possible. So we completely understand that there's going to be cases that are like that, but we just tell our clients, the more ready it is for us, the more prepared it is for us, the better it'll be, the smoother it'll go.
You said you do everything in-house, right?
Yes.
So you do all your editing in-house?
All the editing's in-house. I think that's something that separates us. Like I said, we can keep our quality up. We have our kind of style. Mm-hmm. We're not outsourcing things, so we have more control over it. So it does cost more, but at the end of the day, I think my vision for the company is to have high quality and consistency, and I feel like that's the only way to really accomplish that versus sending it out overseas or to somebody else in the U.S. that's not local, where you can sit down and have a face-to-face conversation with and kind of show them what you're looking for.
What do you need for lead time as far as booking typically? I know it's going to change from time to time throughout the year, but
that's a great question. What I tell our clients is if you get a listing and you need it done today, still call us and ask. I don't want anyone to think that we can't accommodate because honestly, our schedule changes so much. There's so many cancellations, reschedules, the weather's bad, the roof's not done yet, the plumber didn't come. Yeah. So our schedule is very fluid. So if you get something and you need it last minute, give us a call. We're going to do everything we can to accommodate. But if you give us a week, then chances are you're probably going to be able to pick the day you want. If it's 2 or 3 days, we'll probably still be able to fit you in, but it helps if you can be a little bit flexible on time. What's tough is when someone says, I need this tomorrow between 11 and 11:30. You know what I mean? That's tough because our schedule is usually already set. But if you have some flexibility and you can give us a week, then, chances are you'll be able to pick the day and time you want.
Now that question was specifically for my clients because they always want me to list the house on, like they hire me on Friday,
Yeah.
they want it listed at the following Friday, and it is nearly impossible to do that between
Right.
staging, between cleaning, between making minor repairs, and get everything ready for you. People, please give us a little time.
A little bit to do it right.
Yeah,
like you
to do
could
it
get it
right.
listed today. You could use your cell phone and take some pictures. But it's like if we're going to do it right, if we're going to try to get top dollar, I would say there's at least a week's worth of work that needs to be done usually.
At least.
At least.
Sometimes 2 and 3.
Yeah, best case scenario, like a week is good. So, yeah, please give us a little time, people. But if you're in a big rush, we're still going to do everything we can to make it happen.
Yep. And I'll be honest, when I started real estate, I was taking my own photographs. I went to art school. I can take a decent photograph, but what I can't do is I can't edit it. I can't take it nearly as good as you can. I don't have the lighting. I don't have the equipment that you've got. And just the base upgrade, just the upgrade from the actual layout of the photograph.
Yeah.
Forget the lighting, forget everything else. Leaps and bounds what I can do. And that sells the house as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It gets people through the door.
For sure. I think it's got to be one of the most important parts of the whole process is the marketing, you know what I mean, and how an agent markets their properties, because you make a first impression. And I think we all know in real estate, like, that first week is very crucial. If you're going to sit on the market for 2 or 3 weeks, then a lot of people are going to look at it and say, hey, I must not be in competition with anybody, so therefore I'm not going to maybe offer full asking or over asking.
Or what's wrong with the property?
Or what's
Why won't
wrong with the
somebody else?
property?
Yeah.
Yes, someone already did an inspection. Why did they back out? So yeah, a lot of like eyebrows are raised there, and they start to scrutinize things. So I think putting your best foot forward first and really making that property pop and shine. That's why people are hiring you. To do better than they can, because they could take cell phone pictures and put it on MLS, but they want you to kind of walk them through the whole transaction, manage the transaction, and try to get them top dollar. So I think, marketing's probably up there, one of the most important things you can do.
Now, one of the things I always have you do for me is always have you do floor plans. And I noticed, so they weren't the first photographers that I ever hired, but they are the last. I haven't hired anybody since I met Luxe. Other photographers would come in, and they would spend anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes trying to do the floor plans.
Yeah.
And they're out there measuring.
Yeah.
I watch your guys, they just sort of walk through with their cell phone.
Yeah.
What is it you're using? Like, how are you able to do the floor plans like that?
We do a lot with Matterport, and we have different apps now. I mean, technology, it's crazy. Like I said, when I got into this, like drones was, crazy technology. And it's like, wow, people are flying drones to market properties. That was nuts. And, just for the 5, 6, 7 years I've been doing this, I see all these advancements in technology. And now, cell phone cameras are getting better.
Yeah.
We joke about you shouldn't take the photos with your cell phone, and you shouldn't. But I mean, there are companies out there doing great things with just cell phones. Some of the newer cell phones have like LiDAR lasers and stuff, which do allow us to scan a property fairly quickly and get a nice floor plan for our clients. I think at the end of the day, we used to do it all with the Matterport.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit more accurate, but it took like an extra hour. And at the end of the day, most people do kind of want you to do the best job you can, but they don't want you there for 4 hours. And agents, I know you guys are busy too, and there's different things you need to do. So with technology, it's allowed us to be a little bit more efficient while we're on site. We come back here, we do some more editing to process those and make it into a nice floor plan, label everything. But technology is advancing, and it allows us to do a floor plan pretty quickly now, which is nice.
So there's behind the scenes stuff on that floor plan that I'm not seeing?
There's behind
You're
the
actually
scenes
working
stuff.
harder than I think you're working?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's not easy.
So you mentioned the drone photography,
Yep.
and I know you said when you first started it, you spent $2,000 on your drone.
Yep.
I literally just bought my nephew a drone for $18 this week.
Okay, he'll probably lose that in a trade. Because I do drone stuff professionally, I'm the drone guy to all my friends, and they always call me and say, dude, I just got my Walmart drone stuck in a tree, what do I do? I said, you shouldn't have bought a Walmart drone, because it doesn't fly as good in the winds. But it's a good one for him to learn on.
Yeah. And you mentioned Matterport. So a lot of people don't even really know what Matterport is. Do you mind explaining what Matterport is?
Yeah, Matterport's a virtual software and a company that allows you to basically use a special camera. We scan a home. We get essentially thousands of pictures, and they get stitched together. So now we have a virtual model of the home, and we can do this. It starts at $250, so it's not that expensive for what you're getting. A virtual model of your listing. And why it's great is because, like, if you put yourself in a buyer's shoes and you're online and you like a home, you kind of want as much content as possible. You want to be able to check out that house and see everything, really. So the more content you can give someone, the better. They're going to spend more time on your listing, and they're going to be looking around. I love Matterport for a couple of reasons. One, I started investing in real estate. I started buying 2 and 3 families.
Yep.
I just Matterported every single unit I had because once leases came up and I knew someone was leaving, now you have to start. I go on Craigslist, I go on Realtor, I go on Zillow, I market my property, and now I have to start showing it to a bunch of people. Tenants that are living there kind of hate that, right? They don't want to be bothered. So I figured, and sometimes you bring someone into the unit and they're like, nope, this is too small, or nope, this is too big, or what, this bathroom is outdated. I figured if I could just have them look at this virtual tour, they're going to look through the entire unit. If they still want to come and see it in person, at least I know like they know what it looks like and there's no surprises.
It's the right person showing
It's the
it.
right person. So I would send them that link. I would scan each unit. Now I have that. Someone wants to see it. I said, hey, check this out first. Boom. They can get a whole walkthrough of that unit and look at every single basically inch of the property. So I loved it there for investors and for rentals, Airbnbs as well. But then I also think that it's important for higher end properties, like you said, because like a lot of the properties that we do that are $5 million plus that are on the water, sometimes people are coming from across the country to buy these properties. So again, they're going to get on a plane, and they're most likely going to get on a plane before they buy it. I have heard of people buying properties sight unseen for a lot of money because there's a lot of money out there. But if someone's in China and they want to buy a waterfront property in Gloucester, the more you can give them to check it out, the better. So they're going to appreciate that link where they can walk through the entire property and see everything. When we first started, I think the only big con or the gripe that people didn't like about Matterport is maybe like older people or people that weren't as tech savvy, like would get stuck in corners and it makes me dizzy. I don't know how to do this. But I mean,
Guilty.
It's just technology. Everyone has a smartphone now. So I think it's super powerful. And once you know how to navigate it, I think it's super powerful. And like I said, it's fairly affordable.
Yeah. I mean, it was wildly expensive when it first came out. Like, I remember just the baseline. I think the first time I used it, it was on a medium-sized house, and they wanted like $800 for it or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's expensive, yeah.
It was a nosebleed.
I bought it as soon as it came out because, like I said, I started just doing drone work, and I evolved into I need to offer everything. So Matterport came out, and I'm like, what is this? But I should probably offer it, and I think the camera cost me like $4,000 or $5,000, and then there's subscription fees and processing fees, and it isn't cheap for us either.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, for an agent, if you're spending a couple $100 and you can have a virtual model, I think it is a powerful tool.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know you do the photographs and you're doing the Matterport and you're getting me my floor plans and you got the drone photography out there. I haven't hired you to do a video yet, but I know you guys do videos.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen a few of them and they're gorgeous.
Yeah. We specialize in video. I always loved video, and then the first person I hired, Matt Cronin, he's a super talented videographer, so I learned a lot from him. But I realized when I got into real estate media that video is important, and the bar was set very low. It was kind of like watching like a boring 7-minute video to elevator music, and I'm like, we can definitely come in here and raise the bar. So we started to do that, and you know, when I talk to agents, it's like some of their mindsets are a little bit off. They think that they don't need a video to sell the property, and they're right, but the real value in doing a video for your listing isn't necessarily about selling that property. It's going to help. It's going to impress your client, but it's going to get you your next listing, right? So you're in sales. It's all about touches, getting in front of people. So I think that's a high quality way to get in front of somebody is, hey, it's Sean introducing you to his newest listing, and they can see it on Instagram and Facebook, and that's where everyone is nowadays. So I think that's why doing video is important. I don't love being on camera. Most people don't love being on camera. But at the end of the day, say you don't like being on camera, you go and you have an open house.
Yeah.
And you're probably personable, talking to everyone, no issue. It's just something about being on camera, the way you look, or you just get nervous. The more we do it, the more comfortable we get. And we both know as business owners, it's something that we should be doing. So this year, I've made it a goal to try to be on camera more and talk more and do stuff like this because I don't see how it could do anything but help.
One of the last questions I got for you is, do you have weather you hate shooting in? And is there the kind of weather that it's just, you almost, aside from rain, I understand, like it's raining out, it's snowing out, you don't want to do it. But is it better for a sunny day? Is it better for a cloudy day? Is it better for, you know, even just a light drizzle? Like what's the best or worst kind of conditions for shooting?
That's a good question. I mean, we shoot in everything because we're in New England, right?
Yeah.
So we shoot in snowstorms, we shoot in hail, rain, we shoot in everything. But I would say my favorite, depending on what we're doing, I mean, if it's a waterfront property or if we're doing a twilight shoot or a sunrise shoot, we do want like, you know, a nice clear day, partly cloudy, we want some sun so we can have a nice sky and everything like that. But overall, I would say probably overcast is the best conditions. Reason being is a lot of people, you know, will call and say, you know, we want noon on a sunny day because we need it to be bright. But the lighting becomes so harsh that the highlights are kind of just can be blown out, and there can be these just really contrasty shadows, and it doesn't always look as great. So when you have those clouds, you know, kind of like you can see on this light here, we have this big box over the light, and that's to push the light and soften it so it covers us, and it makes it nice and soft. We wouldn't just take that light like a flashlight and just beam it right into your face, because that's not going to look good. So that's kind of what the clouds do to the sun. So on a cloudy day, you get that nice soft light. There's no harsh shadows. That's usually the best to shoot in, because at the end of the day, a lot of times too, we're replacing the sky to make it look nice and blue. So people will get worried that, oh, it's a gray day. The light's great, and we're going to make it a nice blue sky, and these photos will probably come out the best. That's a question that we get a lot, and yeah, cloudy days are probably the best.
How close to sunset can we reasonably shoot outside, like at the outside of the landscape of the house, and still have good photographs?
Well, I mean, it was funny because we were getting a lot of questions recently on the eclipse.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "What? Do we have to cancel? Is it going to be pitch black?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I think we're going to be fine." And we were fine. We can do so much with editing, especially when it comes to photo, because we're shooting raw. I would say if the sun's going down at 7, we could probably shoot the exteriors at 6, maybe even 6:20, 6:30 almost, and still get nice exteriors that look like daylight. If you're going to do twilight, we want to wait until about, 6:45, 7 o'clock. That's just when the interior lighting matches the exterior lighting. The house glows nicely, and it's a great way to kind of make your listing pop. Another question I get often is, kind of what you're saying, the weather, but a lot of people say, what's the best time to shoot a home? Generally speaking, I would say it's going to be either earlier in the morning or later in the day.
Yep.
But the thing is, every property is different. Which way is it facing? Are there huge trees in the front? Are we in the city and there's high rises and the sun's blocked? So it's really different for every property. So if we really want to shoot it at the right time, I'll ask the homeowner or the agent some questions about it, or look it up on Google Earth. But generally speaking, earlier morning or later in the day is going to be the best time to shoot it, because again, you're going to have softer light. The light's not going to be directly overhead beaming down on the house.
Yeah. Virtual staging.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so virtual staging is another service that we offer. It's not just for vacant homes. It definitely helps with vacant homes. We always tell agents about it when we go to a vacant house. If they didn't order it, we at least let them know. And I usually recommend doing like 3 to 5, right? You don't have to do every single image. That would get expensive. But if you can do some of the main living areas, like a primary bedroom, a dining room, a living room, and then what it's really great for too is showing the function of a room. So a lot of houses have like a bonus room.
Yeah.
So we can, and during COVID, agents would have us stage the same room 3 different ways. A kid's playroom, a home office, a gym, just so it can attract to what somebody might be looking for in a home, and saying like, hey, this space is flexible and these are all the different things you can do. So it definitely helps with a vacant home. I would recommend, like I said, 3 to 5, and then the rest of them can be vacant and empty so people can see. But it also, we do something called virtual renovation, which is the same thing as staging, but the house doesn't have to be empty. Instead of you trying to move a bed and a piano and a rug out of a room, we can just do a little bit of extra work in Photoshop, erase everything, rebuild the room so it's empty, and then we can stage it the way you want to. So that's one thing that agents, I think, I try to tell them when I see them and when I do presentations, is virtual staging isn't just for vacant spaces. We can do it in a home that your seller's older, so their style might not be what the buyer's looking for, but they're also not going to stage the house because it doesn't make sense, or they don't feel like moving stuff. So we can still help kind of add a little bit of life or modernness to different listings by doing virtual staging.
Now, what if I have a house that's under construction? How deep into the construction can you start editing it and making it look like a house again?
I mean, we've taken lots of land and just literally created a rendering of the home. So we'll take architectural blueprints, and it'll tell us what the house is going to look like and all the materials that will be used, and then we can create a nice model of the home. We've gone into homes that are just studs and finished it out, done the drywall, figured out what type of flooring would be there, and then we would stage it. So pretty much any stage of the process, we can come in and kind of finish up what needs to be finished virtually, and give the agent something to market. I mean, if you have a lot of land with approved plans, you can either put it online with just a drone shot of land, or it could be the approved project in its completed state. And I think that's going to catch someone's eye a lot more and kind of show them and give them a vision of what is possible here, instead of just a drone shot 1,000 feet up of trees.
All right, so chances are I'm going to be having you do that, because I do have a listing coming in Littleton.
Okay.
And it's
nice.
It's a property that somebody's either going to do a massive renovation to, or they're probably going to tear it down.
It
More
down.
likely than not, it's going to get knocked down.
Yeah.
So if we can do a rendering of what might fit there,
definitely.
And let them know, the lot's too big, the lot's too small, can I fit the house there? We can at least show the maximum size house that might fit there.
Yeah.
I didn't even know we could do that. That's, You need to market a little better to me.
These are the conversations I have with
Yeah.
clients, you know. So, and I'm glad we're having this conversation today because hopefully we can get like 41, 42 people to watch this. And
Well, my last video did have 19.
okay, they were all you.
Family.
18 of them. You leave it on loop.
A constant loop in the office.
Yeah.
So I guess then my last question that I think we need to get to is, who's your favorite employee?
Oh God.
I mean, out of the three
I
or
love
four guys
all
that
my
are behind
kids
you.
the same. No, everyone, honestly, all my guys are so great. That's one of the things that I've been lucky with is being able to hire really quality people. We have very low turnover. Really, nobody's left.
I think I've had the same two or
Same
three
people.
photographers.
That's the goal.
Every single time.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the challenge, building a business that's not only like profitable and putting out a good product, but also like a workplace culture. We do a ton of driving. We deal with a ton of different things every day. So it can be stressful. It is a lot. But yeah, everyone here, like I said, full time. We're hiring now, but we're trying to, it's the same thing with a rental, right? My philosophy with my units was always, I'd rather let my unit be empty for 3 months and put the right person in than rush and put the first person in. And then, you're in Massachusetts, good luck. It's going to take 2 years. So you can obviously hire quick and fire quick, but I don't want to have to fire at all. So we take our time. We go through this process. We just posted, I think like 4 days ago, an applicant for another creative position, and we already have about 200 applications. So even just hiring takes a lot of energy, but it's just sifting through, boiling it down to 5 people, sitting down, talking to them, trying to find the right fit, the person with the same vision. So yeah, all my guys are great, and obviously I wouldn't be able to do it without them. They're all my favorite.
You're like my mom. Turnaround time.
Yes.
It's one of the things I have noticed. You're very quick.
Yeah.
You're very responsive. You shoot it at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
The next day, it's always by noon, it seems to be.
We try to get it as soon as we can because we understand you're probably waking up and you're like, some people call us right away. Other people, we probably know you're waiting by the computer waiting for your photos because that's what you need to get your job done, your listing launched. So we know that. I mean, like I said, right now it's like 20 homes a day, so it takes us a little bit longer because we want to keep the quality up. But for basically everything except video, you're going to get it the next day. Virtual staging, floor plans, drone photos, Matterport. You're getting that the next day, the next morning hopefully, or early afternoon. And then video, I'm telling agents right now about 2 to 3 days on that because again, we're doing it all in-house. That takes more time. We want to make it special. So 2 or 3 days. But the good thing about that is you're going to have the next morning everything you need to get it live. So your listing's launched, your client's off your back. And then, the next day when you get the video, you can put that out there. And that's why planning ahead is important too. If you can get everything back, a week before you need to go live. Now you can start using that video as a coming soon, a teaser, try to gain some interest, and then go live on MLS. So everything is going to be back the next day except video. We try to be as quick as we can. I think 24 hours was fast when I first started. Now it's like industry standard, and people are like, I need these tonight. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, hopefully 24 hours is good enough for a while because it's stressful enough as it is turning everything around. But it seems like everyone wants everything quicker and quicker.
All right. Now, I met you because the photographer I had hired didn't do a great job. You came in and crushed it.
Oh, nice.
How often do you find that you're retaking somebody else's photographs when it's not just a real estate agent? Because I'll be honest, it really matters who you hire.
Yeah.
I think you're like the 4th company I hired, and you're the last company I've hired.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch your social media.
Oh, go ahead.
I couldn't, maybe 10% of the time. The thing about us is we're getting new clients all the time, but what I'm proud of is we retain our clients. Like you said, you're going to be the last company that we hire. I think people like our customer service, our flexibility, and our quality, and just understanding of the industry. So that's what impresses me is that we can retain our clients. But a lot of times, someone reaches out and they say, I don't really like I like my guy, but like he doesn't do drone or he doesn't do video or she doesn't do Matterport. I need a one-stop shop. I want someone that's going to give me something that's like fresh, that's going to help me win more business, that's going to give me brand awareness. So yeah, sometimes they'll say, hey, can you reshoot this because I don't like what they did. Sometimes homeowners can be, very picky and want someone else out there, but usually that happens once and then the clients usually stick with us. So we're happy about that, but it definitely does happen. I mean, again, it's like anything in life. If you look for the cheapest option, you're probably going to get, a cheap result. And then if you look at it, you try to save $100, but now you have your photos being retaken. So now you're paying 150% what you should have. Just do it right the first time.
And the bad photos, they're up online. Once something hits the internet, it's there for life. So
It's there for
someone's
life.
still comparing. They're like, oh, well, the house did look like this and looked like this a month ago.
I know.
It's really not as nice as these photographs. They've probably photoshopped it.
I'm still surprised by, because I look at the MLS all the time, and I'm still surprised by how many homes, even close. I think every single listing, if you're a professional agent, should have professional photography. But even homes that are like 700, 800, 900,000 that I'm looking at, you can tell that either someone did it themselves with their cell phone or just tried to buy a camera and didn't do any editing, and they just look terrible. And I'm just wondering, like, how do the clients feel? You know, do they know any better?
I personally think it's criminal.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think I'm trying to make it criminal in Massachusetts.
yeah, I mean,
2-year penalty.
The number of houses I've seen online where it's poorly lit, the lights aren't on, the beds aren't dressed, the toilet seats are up.
I know.
There's still people walking in the background. I see photographs online of houses for sale, and they've blurred out the homeowner. Like they literally have put zero effort into selling the house, and it's a $700,000-$800,000 colonial in a nice town.
Yeah, so it's a decent commission, and I'm surprised that more people aren't looking at, like, this is what I'm paying for this service of someone guiding me through this transaction and helping me market my property and get me top dollar, and like, this is what I got. I'm just surprised a lot of people, maybe they just don't know better. So I think agents like yourself have to do what you're doing now and try to educate people and be like, hey, hire Sean because this is what I'm going to do. Don't let somebody else.
The main reason I'm interviewing him today is so that I'm only hiring professionals and they're committed to their work.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Matt, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I always love talking shop, so that was awesome.
I just love talking.
That's all the questions you have?
I'm sure I got one or two more in here, but let's be honest.
Yeah,
I think we covered almost everything.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's still listening. We'll see.
Oh, they click off after the first 10 seconds.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.